Hello, how are you? I'm Theresa. I'm in a good condition. The reason I attend this class is to learn more about human resource management. The topic that we are going to study is equal employment opportunity. What I know is EEO is related to discrimination and sexual harassment. Now, let's get started. Equal employment opportunity means the possibility for each employee is same have a fair treatment like an ability to get and retain in a company. For example, a recruiter is not supposed to accept or reject candidates only based on certain characteristics or it will be counted as discrimination. Thus, the existence of EEO is important to ensure and sets the baseline for how people should treat each other at work. After reading the HR headline on page 73, it deals with sexual harassment. At the United Nations, what I know about sexual harassment is unwelcome conduct of a sexual nature which makes a person feel offended, humiliated, and or intimidated. It can take various forms that include sexual comments about someone's body, sexual solicitation, and sexual touch. The differences between sexual harassment and sexual assault is sexual harassment is a broad term including many types of unwelcome verbal and physical sexual attention, while sexual assault refers to sexual contact or behavior, often physical, that occur without the consent of the victim. What I know about sexual harassment in the United States is it is illegal and regulated on Title 7 on the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Title 7. It is illegal for employers to allow anyone to be sexually harassed at work by anyone else, regardless of sex, gender, or sexual orientation. I think it is an unfortunate thing because the United Nations, an international organization, which is also one of the biggest organizations in the whole world, still cannot provide a safe place for the woman. There is the statement on page 74 saying that at the core of equal employment is the concept of discrimination. The word discrimination simply means recognizing differences among items or people. For example, employers must discriminate choose among applicants for a job on the basis of job requirements and candidates' qualifications. However, when discrimination is based on race, gender, or some other factors, it is illegal and employers face problems. What I know about disparate treatment and disparate impact is both of them refer to discriminatory practices. Disparate impact is often referred to as unintentional discrimination, whereas disparate treatment is intentional. The terms adverse impact and adverse treatment are sometimes used as an alternative. Next, a bona fide occupational qualification (BFOQ) is a legally allowed written restriction of hiring and employing a person based on their sex, religion, or national origin. What I know about gender discrimination laws and regulations is regulations that uphold gender equality. Everyone, regardless of gender, is protected from sex discrimination. The Equal Pay Act requires employers to give male and female employees equal pay or for equal work. This means that employers have to pay men and women equally for doing substantially the same work at the same workplace. The differences in pay between men and women in the same jobs be allowed when first, performance. If someone gives a better performance, it is natural for them to get a higher salary regardless of their gender. It can be the form of quality and productivity. The second one is senior. The longer person The longer a person works in a company, the more senior that person is considered. Seniority can give higher status, rank, or priority to employees who have served longer terms. When I work as a manager, I manage gender issues at the workplace by improving gender equality in the workplace. We remove the gender pay gap, use skills-based assessments, make work-life balance a priority, be transparent, implement gender-neutral recruitment process, providing training on unconscious bias, and have a clear policy on discrimination. Next, breaking the glass. On page 86 means a number of employers have recognized that breaking the glass, whether ceiling, wall, or elevator, is good business for both women and racial minorities. The term was first popularized in the 80s to describe challenges women face when their careers stagnate at middle management roles, preventing them from achieving higher leadership or executive roles. Now we have video. This video is about how to break the glass ceiling without breaking ourselves, based on a story about a career woman with 3 kids who finds a way to balance her family and business. The woman talked about 3 key things. They are clarity of purpose, clarity of where we spend our energy, and clarity of key relationships. She invites us to know our purpose and take a step. Besides, we should manage our energy to the most important thing. Last but not least, focus on our desired people who lead us to the life that we are designed to pursue. What I get is that even if our passion is small, we should spare our time to pursue it. What lesson I can get from the woman's explanation is I know how to manage my study and my family time. Moreover, it tells us that we can achieve a successful life without sacrificing ourselves. The most potential sexual harassment happens at a workplace occurs when a male or female in a supervisory or managerial position harasses the victim, which can be male or female, within his power structure, and this is also a lot of potential sexual harassment that may happen at the workplace, like other employees to employees, supervisors, cus- customer vendors, co-workers, or maybe a customer to employees. This kind of action needs to be overseen by everyone in an organization to create a friendly environment in the workplace. According to Equal Employment Opportunity Commission (EEOC), there are 2 types of sexual harassment claims: quid pro quo and hostile work environment. The EEOC provides guidance on defining sexual harassment and establishing employer liability. Quid pro quo, this for that, harassment occurs when someone in a position or authority over another, for example, a manager or supervisor, directly or indirectly demands sexual favors in exchange for some benefit, a promotion, pay increase, etc., or to avoid some detriment, termination, demotion, etc., in the workplace. Whereas a hostile work environment is a workplace in which the conduct of supervisor or coworkers has created a discriminatory environment that a reasonable person would find so abusive or intimidating that it impacts the ability to work. Affirmative action is a policy to promote equal opportunity in the workplace or in education. There are many pros and cons about this affirmative action in the workplace. I agree, because the pros that I found in that permitted action can help to reduce the wealth gap and can be an effective measure against homelessness, may also help from a legal perspective. Better integration of minorities can help people to get out of poverty and can help to promote diversity. But there are some cons, like people may become frustrated and lead to a lack of respect. But in my personal opinion, there are more pros that than than cons that makes me agree with this action. The first example is catcalling. When I'm in senior high school, it held an introductory exhibition on university were open to the public. I went around alone. Then some male students from another school that I didn't know suddenly called and said they want my number. Catcalling is usually defined as a rude, derogatory, or unwelcome comment. It is street harassment that can happen in public spaces. Thank God that's all I remember. In, an individual with disabilities is someone who has a physical or mental disorder that may limit the person in some of the main activities of a life. Well, they maybe can really have the same job opportunities, but it still depends on their disabilities, because disability makes them difficult to work in certain sectors, such as sectors that have to move a lot, analyzing or assemble goods. Sometimes, people with disabilities have advantages in certain ways that can cover the disadvantages. In conclusion, they can have equal work opportunities if their ability are not significantly deficiency in carrying out their work. Next is the video about HR Basics, Equal Employment Opportunity. In a nutshell, the speaker explains equal employment opportunity, exploring the law, discrimination in the workplace, and the agencies responsible for preventing it. The lessons that I can get from watching the video is I know the definition of equal employment opportunity (EEO) and discrimination, as well as the regulation related to fair treatment of employees. Equal employment opportunity laws prohibit specific types of job discrimination in the workplace. I also get a new insight about the two main enforcement bodies for EEO and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission (EEOC) and the U.S. Department of Labor (DOL). In particular, the Office of Federal Contract Compliance Program (OFCCP). OFCCP. The EEO is the EEOC is responsible for developing guidelines and overseeing compliance with most of the anti-discrimination laws. The OFCCP is responsible for the same activities relative to executive orders. Now we at the end of the video is closing comments. The conclusion of the lecture today is equal employment opportunity is about having fair treatment regardless of their religion, gender, ethnicity, etc. It also talks about discrimination, how we provide equality to each other. What I can get from this lecture is if I become a manager, I should provide a comfortable workplace where everyone can feel valued and safe. A place where we can fulfill our rights, speak out without being afraid of other parties. Besides, I also know to treat other people, including those with disabilities, who still have the right to work and receive an education. I know about a form of sexual harassment, like not physical touch. I also learn how to prevent discrimination, since this is a popular issue. The application in real life is we shouldn't do any discrimination or sexual harassment. That's all from me, Erika Teresa. Thank you.